OK, we're going to hit the papers now. Thanks for that, Amy, and we'll rattle through them, because I know you've got some of the money stuff, which we're going to talk about in a minute.
Yes, it's the front page of the Daily Mail.
Yeah.
So we've got 16 grand each to pay because of this credit crunch. And I'm wondering...
£16,000. Right.
What do you do if you haven't got it? Are they going to send are they going to send a bailiffs round? Or are you going, what's going to happen? I mean, I know people who haven't got 16p by the end of the week.
It's out of our taxes, isn't it? It's out of our taxes. That's the cost.
So not everybody will be paying 16 grand then, if you're not paying tax.
It is the equivalent to everybody paying.
And I'll tell you, the richest won't be paying it because they don't pay tax. They found ways of never paying tax in this country.
Yes, expensive accountants. So that's the cost of it. What are the other details there you've got?
Well, this was discussed over a curry in a Balti house.
That's good to hear.
So maybe that's why it's come out like this, I don't know. Whether there's a 250 billion guarantee on the debts of high street banks. But what happens is, I thought England, we borrow money, don't we, from other places? What happens if we run out of money and nobody will lend us any money?
This is basically a huge problem. They've put 500 billion behind this. Essentially, the whole banking market has collapsed because there's been a lack of trust. So no one is actually allowing lending between the banks. And that, of course, means that we can't borrow. This is a huge gamble by the government, but it's really important because if we
don't... What if it doesn't work, David?
Well, it's fascinating, actually, because they were asking, you know, people who are far cleverer than I am, economists, about what happens if...
Hang on, if they're so clever, all these economists, how come we're in this mess in the first place? All the experts at the bank, all the clever boys, they're the ones that got us in the mess.
I agree, and it's because they did not... I don't think they had good business practice. They didn't put the money aside.
Couldn't see the wood for the trees they were dangling with money in front of them.
They were greedy. That's what's behind this. But we're in a big problem. We've got to sort it out, and I really hope this works.
OK.
So Gecko's greed is good was bad?
Yeah. It's bad, exactly.
It's bad.
And let's go to The Sun, because they've kind of tried to bring a sense of humour to proceedings.
International Rescue, Thunderbirds.
Well, we've got a 5% rate
Alistair Darling does make a good Thunderbird. Of that, there is no doubt. And what's more, if you look carefully, you can see the strings attached.
And who's pulling them, etc.
OK.
But will it cure the crunch? We don't know, do we, really? I suppose it's too early to say.
Too early to say. What's interesting is, I mean, the accusations have been that he's been a flipping astronomical bailout. There doesn't seem to be anything... But he's been accused of being behind the times, always playing catch-up for the last few weeks, and I guess with this, we come decisively into line with certainly with the United States and elsewhere around Europe. That's banking. We'll talk more about it in a moment. What else have we got out there?
Drivers... Moving on to drivers will have no escape from new speed cameras, because what these cameras will do is just monitor you as soon as you start your car up and get onto the roads.
Oh, these are like the time-lapse ones, aren't they?
So I'm moving. I'll be off.
Can I just make a point here? Do you know twice as many people die of hospital-acquired infections in Britain's hospitals than on Britain's roads? And look at the money they stick into cameras.
Yeah, but how much money do hospital-acquired infections generate for the government?
Exactly. It's
Nothing.
about priorities, isn't it?
So what they're going to do is those time-lapse cameras, the average speed cameras they put on motorways, at the moment you can only do, by law, it's 2 cameras over 6 miles is the maximum.
Well, that'll kill
now they're going to put them everywhere and link them up by computer.
I think we just had a declaration of a Tory policy. As soon as they're in government, we'll have no more of them.
No ID cards.
No more cameras.
No ID cards. We're against ID cards. We also...
You're going to be voting this way soon, aren't you, Yasmin? Admit it. You're coming round to their way of thinking.
You know, I really like... It's quite true. Some of my good friends are Tories. As people, they're really, really nice. They're really nice. I would not vote for them ever.
And one more from you, David. One more.
OK. The last one is... Oh, and once again, intrusion by the government. Oh, some might say Europe here. Women get a criminal record for selling fruit by the pound.
Well, I thought that Europe had dropped that last November.
Well, listen, I was in Spain last week, and there was meant to be a smoking ban. Everybody was smoking in the restaurants. Nobody cared anything about it. They ignored it completely. Gas prices went up. They went on the streets. They put the prices down for gas in the end, the government. People power. We put up with it over here all the time.
Well, this woman is paid. I mean, is paid for her conviction of sticking by Imperial to keep her customers happy. I still go by Imperial. I talk about pounds and ounces. I've no interest in this newfangled metric stuff.
We don't give this lady the support. We don't give her the support. The people of the country don't give her the support.
much more interesting, important business than giving a fruit lady support. Look at the problems
yes,
we've
you're
got.
quite right. Why did they bother nicking her in the first place then? If
Well,
it wasn't that important.
Good point. Good point.
It's absolute trivia.
Hackney
She
Council,
should
wasn't
be
it?
better things to do.
Yeah,
So she's
that
Go
I
round
agree.
when she's selling
I agree.
pounds.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Don't you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Right.
Yeah.
No hope about it.
That's David Van Day's pounds worth, or half 0.4 of a kilo. I don't know. Yasmin, what have you got?